What if I told you that your later years can be the most powerful, fulfilling, and joyful time of your life? Not by chance, but by choice. Happiness after 65 isn't about avoiding hardships or chasing wealth. It's about embracing wisdom that helps you live with clarity, connection, and purpose. If you read between the ages of 65 and 80, this stage of life holds a depth of experience. And with the right mindset, it can hold more peace and happiness than ever before. Some people reach these years feeling empowered and grounded, while others quietly struggle with loneliness or regret. So what makes the difference? It's not luck. It's not even health. It's the perspective you carry and the choices you make every day. Today, we're re-exploring 5 timeless life wisdoms that the happiest seniors live by. Principles that have helped them thrive mentally, emotionally, and socially. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a refreshed outlook on aging. One that invites more joy, purpose, and meaning into each day. Whether you're already practicing some of these ideas or just getting started, this might be exactly the inspiration you need to make the most of the years ahead. One of the greatest secrets to happiness later in life is this: never stop being curious. The happiest seniors know that growth doesn't end with retirement. It evolves. They understand that life isn't just about comfort and routine, but about continuing to discover, to learn, and to be surprised. Staying mentally engaged doesn't just help pass the time, it brings a sense of purpose and aliveness. Take Zoe Carter, for example. At 70, she had just retired from a long teaching career. For a while, she enjoyed the rest, the slower mornings, the quiet evenings. But something started to feel off. She missed being mentally stimulated, challenged. So she did something unexpected. She enrolled in an online photography course. At first, she struggled with the technology, but little by little, she began capturing small moments in nature that brought her joy. It wasn't about becoming a professional. It was about staying alive inside. Learning doesn't have to be academic or complicated. It can be as simple as reading books that stretch your thinking, trying out painting, learning a new language, or even picking up a musical instrument. Maybe you've always wanted to write your life story, start a garden, or travel somewhere new. Now's the time. What happens when you challenge yourself? You build confidence. You stay mentally sharp. Studies show that seniors who stay intellectually active reduce their risk of cognitive decline and conditions like dementia. More than that, they report greater life satisfaction. Why? Because they feel like they're still part of the world, still contributing, still evolving. And the benefits don't stop with the brain. Learning something new often leads to social connection. Taking a class, joining a workshop, or simply sharing your new passion with friends can create opportunities to meet others who share your interests. This adds a layer of joy and community that keeps your spirit vibrant. There's a common myth that aging means slowing down in every way, but in truth, it's often when we stop engaging our minds that we begin to feel old. The happiest people in their 70s and 80s are often those who are still exploring, experimenting, and playing, just in new ways. So ask yourself, when was the last time you did something for the first time? What's something you've always been curious about, but never had the chance to try? You don't need to be great at it. You just need to begin, because when you commit to lifelong learning, you're not just passing time, you're expanding it. And in that space, happiness thrives. As we age, one of the quietest but most powerful influences on our happiness is connection. Human beings are wired to belong, to be seen, to feel understood. Yet, for many seniors, loneliness can slowly creep in, often unnoticed at first. Friends move away, family members become busier, and daily interactions become fewer and farther between. But the happiest seniors don't accept loneliness as inevitable. They actively cultivate connection. Take Grace Rivers, age 76. After her partner passed away, she found herself surrounded by silence. At first, it felt peaceful, but over time, the quiet turned heavy. Days blended together, and a sense of isolation began to take hold. One day, she came across a flyer for a local walking group for older adults. Despite her nerves, she decided to join. That one small decision changed everything. She made friends, shared laughs, and felt part of something again. Her days became brighter, not because her circumstances had drastically changed, but because she wasn't facing them alone. Connection doesn't always mean having a large social circle. It's about meaningful moments. A weekly phone call with a loved one, a chat with a neighbor at the mailbox, volunteering at a local shelter or attending a community event. Even small acts of interaction can light up your emotional world. Research backs this up. Strong social relationships not only boost emotional well-being, but also reduce the risk of chronic illness, depression, and even cognitive decline. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been compared to smoking in terms of its impact on long-term health. That's how powerful our need to connect truly is. The happiest older adults make connection a habit. They don't wait for others to reach out. They take the lead. Whether it's joining a club, attending faith gatherings, or sending a quick message to a grandchild, they keep those social muscles moving. And here's a secret: vulnerability often opens the door to connection. It's okay to tell someone, "I'd love to spend more time together," or "It's been a little quiet lately. Want to catch up?" Most people appreciate being invited into someone's life. Often, they're waiting for the same thing. If you're feeling isolated, remember you're not alone in that feeling. And more importantly, you're not stuck there. Reach out, even if it feels awkward at first. Build those bridges one interaction at a time. Because when you prioritize connection, you're not just filling time, you're feeding your soul. And nothing enriches these later years more than having someone to laugh with, share stories with, and walk through life beside. As we grow older, our time and energy become more precious, and so do the people we share them with. The happiest seniors understand that relationships can either nourish or drain us. That's why they make a conscious choice to spend time with those who uplift them, those who bring joy, peace, and positivity into their lives. Meet Ellie Turner, 75. For years, he spent his mornings at a local diner with the same group of old friends. At first, it was comforting. Familiar faces, shared routines. But over time, Ely noticed something. The conversations had become a cycle of complaints. Health issues, politics, family frustrations. It left him feeling more tired than energized. One morning, he decided to try something different. He joined a community woodshop class where he met people who were passionate, curious, and encouraging. Week by week, he felt lighter, more inspired, more alive. It wasn't just the hobby. It was the energy of the people around him. It's a simple but powerful truth. Who you spend your time with shapes how you feel each day. Are the people around you hopeful, supportive, and engaged with life? Or do they constantly dwell in negativity, draining your spirit without even realizing it? This doesn't mean abandoning long-time friends or family, but it does mean being mindful of how certain interactions affect your well-being. You can still love people from a distance, while choosing to invest more time in those who fill your cup. Healthy boundaries aren't rejection, they're protection. They guard your peace and make space for joy to grow. Think of the people in your life who make you smile just by being around them. Maybe it's a friend who always has a funny story, a neighbor who greets you warmly, or someone who listens without judgment. These are the people worth prioritizing. Even spending a few minutes with someone who genuinely lifts your spirit can shift the entire tone of your day. Studies show that positive relationships contribute to lower levels of stress, improved heart health, and even a stronger immune system. But beyond the science, the emotional benefits are just as profound. Laughter, understanding, encouragement. These things breathe life into us at any age. So take a moment to reflect. Who energizes you? Who brings you calm? Who helps you see the good in life, even when it's hard? Seek those people out. Spend more time with them. And if you haven't found them yet, be that person for someone else. Because the company you keep can be the greatest gift or the heaviest weight. Choose wisely, choose joyfully, and surround yourself with those who remind you that life, at every stage, is worth celebrating. There's a subtle mindset shift that separates those who merely get through their later years from those who truly thrive growth. The happiest seniors don't settle for just making it through the day. They look for ways to grow, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. Because life doesn't stop evolving, and neither should we. Let's take a look at Mia Thompson, age 71. After decades of raising a family and working full-time, retirement came as a relief, but also a shock. Without a schedule or responsibilities, her days started to blur together. She began to feel like she was drifting. Then one afternoon, while cleaning out an old drawer, she found a sketchbook from her 20s. That moment sparked something. She picked up a pencil and started drawing again. At first, it was rough, but she kept going, watching tutorials, practicing daily. Over time, it became a joyful part of her routine. It reminded her that she wasn't done creating, not even close. Too often, aging is portrayed as a slow fade into stillness. But that narrative robs us of possibility. Growth doesn't have to mean grand accomplishments. It can be simple, personal, and deeply meaningful. Maybe it's tending to a garden, writing poetry, learning a new skill, or reflecting on life's lessons in a journal. Whatever it is, the key is to remain engaged in life as a participant, not just an observer. The danger of survival mode is that it slowly shrinks your world. You start to focus only on routines, on getting by. Days become predictable. But growth breathes energy into those days. It gives you a reason to wake up excited, a spark that makes time feel rich and valuable again. Even in our 70s or 80s, we're still capable of new insight, new understanding, and even personal transformation. In fact, many people report experiencing more emotional clarity and inner peace in their later years, when they lean into growth instead of coasting. Science supports this too. Continued personal development is linked to lower levels of depression, improved cognitive health, and a deeper sense of life satisfaction. It's not about proving something to the world. It's about feeding your own soul, choosing curiosity over complacency, exploration over stagnation. So ask yourself, when was the last time you did something that made you feel proud? Not because it was perfect, but because it was new. Growth doesn't mean pressure. It means possibility. And in this season of life, the possibilities may look different, but they're just as real, just as powerful. Don't just survive your days. Stretch them, fill them, let them surprise you. Because even now, especially now, you are still becoming. One of the most freeing lessons you can embrace in your later years is this. Peace comes not from controlling everything, but from letting go. The happiest seniors have discovered that life rarely goes exactly as planned. People change, bodies age, the world shifts, and trying to grip everything tightly only leads to exhaustion. Take the story of Max Dalton, age 78. For years, he held on to frustration over how his children ran their lives. He didn't agree with their choices, and it ate at him. Every phone call left him feeling more anxious than connected. One day, after a long walk, Max sat quietly and asked himself, "Is this helping anyone?" The answer was clear, so he let go, not of his love for his family, but of the need to control their path. He focused instead on listening, being present, and offering support without judgment. That shift didn't just heal his relationships, it brought him peace. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing where your energy goes. You can't stop aging, but you can care for your body with love. You can't force others to behave a certain way, but you can choose how you respond, with kindness, calm, and dignity. The truth is, many of us carry emotional weight that no longer serves us. Regrets from the past, expectations that didn't unfold, worries about the future. These burdens quietly steal joy from our present moments. The happiest seniors lighten their load by accepting what they cannot change and focusing on what they can. It's not always easy. Sometimes we've spent years holding on to control because it made us feel safe. But as we age, we realize that real safety comes from trust. Not in outcomes, but in our ability to adapt, to stay centered, and to choose peace over worry. Letting go is a daily practice. It's the decision to pause before reacting, to breathe instead of bracing, to say, "Isn't mine to carry," and put it down. And with each of those small choices, you create more room for joy, for rest, for presence. Think about your own life. What are you holding on to that you no longer need? Maybe it's an old hurt or the urge to fix something that isn't yours to fix. Start small. Begin by noticing the moments you tense up over something out of your hands, and in that moment, gently release it. Because when you stop fighting what you can't control, you start flowing with life. And in that flow, happiness often appears. Not as something you chase, but as something that meets you where you are. Let go, breathe deep, and allow yourself to enjoy this beautiful, imperfect life, just as it is. Happiness in your later years isn't something that happens by chance. It's something you build, day by day, through thoughtful choices and gentle courage. As we've explored, the seniors who feel most fulfilled aren't the ones with perfect health or flawless lives. They're the ones who continue to grow, who connect deeply, who choose peace over control, and who surround themselves with people who lift their spirits. They understand that aging isn't the end of discovery. It's a new chapter of becoming. It's a time to ask, what matters now? And to follow that question toward joy. Whether it's learning a new skill, reaching out to a neighbor, or letting go of an old burden, every small decision shapes how these years unfold. You don't have to do it all at once, just begin. Begin with one action that nourishes your spirit. One conversation that brings you closer to someone. One moment of stillness where you choose calm over worry. Because this time of life, right now, is still rich with meaning, beauty, and possibility. You're not done growing. You're not done giving. You're not done living. So which of these wisdoms spoke to you the most? Which one are you ready to embrace today? Whatever your answer, know this. The best years of your life might still be ahead. Not because they're easy, but because you're showing up for them with open eyes, an open heart, and a willingness to keep evolving. Thank you for being here. Keep learning, keep loving, and above all, keep choosing joy.